Hi everyone, this is the third lesson of creating the game Battle City with language Kotlin and Android Studio. In this lesson, I'm going to add a grid in order to make the addition of levels for our game more visual. First thing I want to create is a menu. In order to do this, I click right button mouse on project structure, then New, then Android resource file. After that, I select a menu in resource type and apply the name as settings. Now I will add menu item to component tree. That will be our button. In order to use it, I need to assign an ID and title. Next thing is to add an icon to our just created item. Toward that, I click right button of mouse on project structure, then new, then vector asset. That will open a wizard. If we want to change the icon, we need to click on clip art. After that, we can search the icon we need. In addition, we can select the color of our icon. I will choose white. If we want to assign this icon to our menu item, we need to press the button icon on our menu item and choose our icon in the list. The last thing about our menu is I want to add to our menu item an attribute show as action. This attribute is responsible for behavior how our item would be shown to user. In our particular case, I will choose option if room. That means that if there will be enough space on the toolbar, the icon will be shown. If not, there will be three dots, and after tap on them, we will see our title. I want to add that it is a bad practice to hardcode the string values inside of layouts. So we need to extract our title into strings file. To do that, we can just press Alt-Enter when cursor is on our title. After that, we only need to select the name of resource, and the rest is the matter of Android Studio. Layout for menu is ready, now we need to place it in our activity code. There are two methods which we must override in our main activity. On Create option menu, here we inflate our menu with just created resource. And on Options item selected. We have a parameter item in this method. With this parameter, we can define which option in menu was clicked by user. For this purpose, we have the ID which we created in our menu layout. So we've created a menu button. Now we should implement the logic which will be executed on Edit Button tab. All the logic will be allocated in the method showSettingMode. To fill this method with logic, firstly I create a new class GridDrawer. According to name, this class will be responsible for drawing a grid. In order to do that, I'll add a method with a name drawGrid. In addition, I add the container and cell size in the constructor of our new created class. We're gonna use these variables further. Now I will split the logic of drawing the grid in two methods. Draw horizontal lines and draw vertical lines. Let's go for creating our line views. There are a bunch of ways to create a view in Android development. Now I'm going to use the most declarative. All view-related stuff I will place into the XML file. To do that, I will create a new layout named horizontal line, and there gonna be a view with height equals to 1 dpi and width equals to match parent. After that, I create a similar XML file with a name, vertical line, The only difference is that width is 1 dpi and height is much parent. Let's write the implementation of the method draw horizontal lines. We're gonna need while loop with an exit condition when all lines are drawn. I will define this condition depend on margin. I create a variable margin with initial value 0, and the exit condition will be the value when margin equals container height minus cell size. In that case, we will draw our lines all over the container. And every loop iteration, I will increment the margin value with cell size. Now I need to draw view on container with past margins. I go into class view extensions and create a new method with name create view with margins. It will take layout resource as a parameter. We can create a view with Android class layout inflator. It creates view with past layout and a context, which we can take from our extension frame layout. In order to apply some changes to view that we just created with layout inflator, we use the block apply. Also, I want to add a second parameter to method create view with margins. Apparently, it should be margins object. Just to recall, we created it in a previous lesson. Inside of apply block, we set our margins to the just created view. After that, we add this view on container and request layout to update. Go back into grid drawer class. We need to invoke our created method inside of our while loop. We can invoke it on our container object and pass into it horizontal line view and margins object with value bottom equals margin variable. In that case, our view will have the indent equals our margin from the top. Now we can just copy and paste the code for our method draw vertical lines. The only difference is that instead of height, we will interact with container width, which is basically the same. Apart of that, instead of horizontal line view, we will use vertical line. In addition, in place of bottom margin, we put right. All we need to do now is to create grid drawer object in our main activity class. Since it uses a context, the proper way is to initialize it when context is ready. That's why we use lateInit modifier. After variable is initialized, we can call drawGrid method inside of showSettings mode. There is a way to improve creating object of grid drawer. Kotlin has a lazy delegate. If we invoke it, that means that grid object will be created only in the moment of usage, but not when main activity was created. It is a really cool feature which helps us to put together variable initialization and its definition without splitting. Let's launch our application and see how our grid drawer works. That is it. The code for this tutorial you can find in the description of the video. Please leave your comments if you have any questions. Good luck!